Sam's catch there at the end.
Wasn't that sick? I mean, that's like elite awareness, especially from a running back. I haven't really seen a play like that. I'm excited to look at the review. And what do you guys think? It was out, unfortunately. It looked cool, though. It looked cool.
What's the early part of camp been like for you?
It's just continued growth each and every day. I can definitely feel a difference in the first day to, even today. Just the game's starting to slow down a little bit the more that I get comfortable, with the plays and the system. So, just trying to take advantage of the opportunities that I get. Trying to study late as much as I can. It's definitely very humbling to be in a room with, Russ, Jameis, and Tommy, guys that are just extremely smart. But at the same time, I'm learning every second. So just trying to take in each opportunity and get better from it.
This seemed to be one of your better days on the field. I was curious if you feel the same, and if so, why? Why do you think today was a good one?
I think I just kind of alluded to it. I felt like it slowed down just a little bit. Like that first day, and even a little bit the second day, were just some plays that I hadn't really run before. You're getting mixed in with different groups of guys who you don't have a ton of reps with. So you're just trying to, get that timing down with everybody. But I feel like today, going into it, I felt confident in, kind of like the different installs that we had. And I felt at the same time, the coaches gave me a lot of freedom. So I was able to, make some checks that I wanted to. And I feel like that just allowed me to play just faster and be able to make quicker decisions.
What's your approach to mistakes? Like, how do you internalize if you do have a bad throw or a bad practice? Like, how do you, handle that?
I told Dabes earlier this week, after the first day, I was like, I wish we had 2 days so we could practice again. So I just really look forward to the next opportunity that I have. I understand that I'm going to make mistakes, and that's part of me learning. The system, the game speed, I threw a pick, and I was able to go in the locker room and talk to Nick about, kind of what he saw from a defensive perspective. So those conversations that I'm having are super cool because I'm just constantly learning. And I think, big, something that I take pride in is, when you make a mistake, try not to make that same mistake again. So I understand I'm going to make mistakes, but, I'm excited for the next opportunity and trying to get better.
Actually, I know it's very early, but how do you approach this in terms of training camps are always competitive, people are fighting for jobs.
Yeah.
And Dave just kind of made it clear that the number 2 quarterback, is up in the air. Are you more concentrating on trying to win that, or is it more of a long game for you? Like, how do you piece that together or separate that, if you will?
I'm just trying to execute each play, quite honest with you. I'm not thinking about all the other stuff of, what may happen if, I play bad this day or I play good this day. I just want to go out and execute the play, put the guys in the best situation. I want to make sure that, when I'm out there that I'm feeling confident. So I'm just trying to prepare each and every day. I don't look at things like that. For me, this game of football is just the game that I loved when I was a kid. So I don't put too much, I don't internalize a lot of things result-based that wise. I'm just trying to go out there and compete and play at the highest level.
Speaking of Nick, that interception that he had,
yeah,
he kind of had that kind of PBU today a little bit. What's been that battle like with him a little bit? Nick Jones, he's got to pick on you. You challenge him a little bit. What's that been like?
Yeah, it's been fun. Our lockers are right next together, so we're going out to practice. making jokes I'm still going to come at you today, and I got to get my get back, and we're just competing. So it's a lot of fun to kind of have that environment in the locker room. Everybody's able to cooperate, in a mature and very positive way. And I think it's been cool to have a lot of guys that are older than me that will come up and give advice to me, even on the defensive side.
And even with Nick, Nick being a veteran in the league a little bit,
yeah.
When you guys are talking about what did you see on that play? What did you see? What is he saying to you? What are those conversations like with him?
Yeah, he's just explaining, schematically what they're doing on defense. He's tendency wise, if you see this, this is probably what's coming behind it. A lot of it, was him just in a spot drop zone and playing off my eyes. So, he's just telling me a lot of times, because he played with Pat and, what Pat used to do with him and just kind of manipulate, different plays and schemes to make it work. And I think that, when I'm able to hear that, it helps me try to, incorporate those things into my game.
What's been the best piece of advice you've gotten from someone on the defensive side, one of the veteran guys maybe?
A lot of it's been just pressures, kind of what are the tips and tells that they're going to be, bluffing, or when they're, coming on a different blitz, and I have to set the protection a certain way to make sure that we're all picked up and I get the back out. So it's been helpful to hear those tendencies, and like I said, it's just been great to go into the locker room and I can go ask questions to anybody, and they're super open and welcoming to me that way. And everybody here just wants everybody to get better. So I definitely have appreciated that.
In that the circumstances, like when on Friday when Dave's tossed you in on the 2-minute there.
Yeah.
How helpful is that kind of chaotic situation that he tosses you into? How helpful is that to your group?
I think it's great because it puts me in uncomfortable situations. One, we go into each day like you don't know what reps you're getting, so you have to make sure that you prepare for anything and everything, and I think that really helps because you don't know when your number is going to be called, and you got to be ready to ball in any situation that you're given. So after that drive on Friday, like I went over to Jameis and told him, appreciate you for getting me down there. But I appreciate those situations, trying to be uncomfortable and just trying to execute the offense.
Jaxson, what's the balance like between believing like that gunslinger mentality that you can fit any ball into any window no matter how tight, and then say you have a pass that's tipped or intercepted or whatnot the other way, like, oh, okay, I can't do that in the NFL, but not going too far in terms of like you don't want to lose your aggressiveness.
Yeah, I don't want to play like a robot. I think that's just my play style when I'm on the field. Like I'm going to be aggressive in any situation. A statement that, I guess a quote that we go by in the quarterback room is being aggressive but not reckless. And so, when you have opportunities to, put the dagger in, that's what you got to do. But at the same time, you can't be reckless. And, it's just situational based as an offense. You look at the turnover margins and the turnover ratio of the most successful team in the league to the least successful team, and that's probably the number one thing that goes into it. So you got to keep those things in mind, but at the same time, you got to be a dog on the field and make those plays when they're there. And like I said, at this time, it's okay to make some mistakes and to learn from them.
You mentioned being a dog. Malik was saying something when you were in San Diego. He kind of challenged you on the basketball court. I want to curious on your perspective on what that interaction was like.
Yeah, it was intense. I think it's just two guys who compete at the highest level in whatever that they're doing, and when you're in a competitive situation like that and you want to win, I think it says a lot about him, as well as me. Just you can do whatever it takes, and I think it's good bonding.
Who's better basketball player?
Ooh, it kind of depends. Like if it's a one-on-one game or if it's with a team, we have different roles. Most of the time it was me and him guarding each other. Quite honestly, we played for like 40 minutes one-on-one and neither of us scored a point. So,
So offense could use some work.
Yeah, but the defense is elite. The defense is elite for sure for both of us.
What do you anticipate tomorrow will be like with pads?
Just fun, exciting. I know the guys in the trenches are really excited about it. I know the running backs are too. It definitely allows you to play on a different level rather than us being in spiders and whatnot. So it's just going to get a little bit, more physical between, each side of the ball. But I think it's going to bring a different energy for sure.